Good morning. In the bed, I was thinking of a few things, and the bottom line is that was a bit of delusion, so I have to cut it out. But to get there may be interesting. When everything is peaceful, sometimes the mind moves, and for example, I thought, well, this is wonderful life, but when I die, I cannot enjoy. Some brief thought like that popped up. And then instead of doing samadhi, my mind moved and thought of Picasso. That's the story of my time also in Spain. I visited many times to do my seminars and stuff. It was about the continuous improvement, and I often talked about Picasso because some engagement to connect to the people when I go visit. I look for some topic. And before that talk, I found this book called Picasso in His World. That was like 30, 40 years ago. And I enjoyed so much. There are pictures of his paintings and the word that he talked here and there to come in between the pictures. And I could feel how energetic and creative his mind was and his work representing that. One of the phrases I remember was, the important thing is to do, whatever it may be. I checked just a while ago if that was the right quote. It said important things is to create, whatever that is. But I think it could have been not create, but to do. But that's just my memory. And what I see there is that the energy, the mission, the passion of who he was. So whatever the subject matter, whatever the things that you can do. So just doing is fine because you are acting and living. And that's the energy source that he connected. So his words are very much like with Zen. One other thing it just popped up is painting is stronger than me. It does what it makes me to do, whatever it is, or something like that. So he's got the mission, energy, desire beyond his ego drove him to do that painting. There's another one. He said that when he realized that people suffering in the world, he wanted to bring out the message in his painting to go over or something like that. Perhaps like a Guernica, the big painting, famous one, was created, reflecting that kind of thinking that people do lots of stupid things and kill each other. And he painted that masterpiece. So those are the life of his Picasso's life. But I also remember maybe something to do with his friend died or committed suicide because his friend was in Paris and lost his love for some such thing. I remember the painting. If that caused him to feel or not, I don't know, but I remember that he didn't like to face death or something. So on one hand, his words represented the spirit of Zen, but he had that sense of death. But because of that, perhaps he worked so hard to go over, to live his life. So negative can turn out to be positive. But my thought in the morning may be related to that I feel peaceful and happy, but then my mind may wander. And that caused me to think about those Picasso's painting and words. And that's probably is the moment of little weakness after him doing so much work. And he said his painting, he can fill all the museums with my painting or some such thing. But toward the end of his life, the weakness may pop up. So I felt those ideas, and then I went back. Oh, my thinking about after death, that's just a delusion. This may have happened in 1 minute, not a long story like this, but I'm just characterizing what happened. So I didn't get into this samadhi when that idea popped up. It's sad that I cannot enjoy as much life when I die. But that's the point of saying no. It's useless. Important things is to do, to create. And then I reflect my time, whatever I do, and constraints I have, I make the most of it. I can pick up all the event and what I do, but I enjoying being able to do and create or fix things and come up with idea. Not finding an easy solution, but rather to stop, think through what's the right thing to do, what is the way to handle without waste, and utilize my talent. Because that's why we are here. When everything is convenient, I'm concerned at what people do. You find whatever you can, whatever that is, because that's life. Not take it too easy and too arrogant, feel like entitlement. That's not the basis of life. Life is kind of like maybe it is, a war against the law of entropy. And you can do that or participate to live by being in samadhi. And why no mind, no self is the fight against? Because that's how the energy of life, creative sources connected, and no, that's the way to live. I say that I often, most of the time, feel transparent. And that means mind is clear. I can relate to my body, connection to my body and heart is there. And when I have that sense, transparency is there. And because there's no thinking, you observe situation as it is, no mind, be in here and now. Then this vibrating sense, liveliness, the cell of the body of vibrating throughout. That's a blissful sensation that you feel that aliveness. There's no thinking needed. Thinking would remove us or prevent us to have that direct connection to your being alive. So that's why samadhi, no thinking, no mind, is important, and no self. There's a reason for thinking to be, but there's a reason for thinking not to be. As much as we see certain need, we may come up with the idea, turn out to be thinking or wisdom, and apply it to live life, because that's what the body does all the time. Even my mind is not functioning, body is alive. And that's the vibration. That's the sense I feel. And when I am connected to that sensation, there's that rightfulness. I don't know if that's the right word. The nature's way is prevailing. It's not my way, but that nature's way is giving me this blissful sensation that we are doing something as nature demand. Thy will be done. Well, maybe it's mindless thought and maybe delusionally thought, you might think. But thinking of Picasso, his life, that wonderful artwork and more he did, we have the weakness, and the way to face is just to be connected to the source of creativity, and there's no need for more thinking, and just be. But because of our thinking ability, we can bring out that creative energy into action for us to live and do our duty to respond to thy will be done. I'm breathing in, breathing out. I hear a bird far away. It's going to be an interesting day, beautiful day. Let's do our best. Thank you.